future millionaires, and welcome back to my channel. I am Kayla.K, and in this week's live, we'll be talking about the rising cost of real estate in Jamaica. Thank you all for being early. Let me just log into my other device so that I can respond to your comments. All right, so sideway again. Lord have mercy. Let me just flip this camera quickly. I was hurrying to start, so I guess during that process, my camera somehow rotated. So because I've had this issue before, I'm just going to rotate my device so that I can be upright. All right. So we are ready now. How has everyone been? Have you all been doing well? How is the pandemic treating you? What are you doing in your different countries? I noticed that I now have subscribers from different countries to include Germany and Barbados. If those persons are here, I want to know if it's a case where you are Jamaican or if you are just looking for properties to buy in Jamaica. And I want to know also, how is your Sunday going for everyone else? What have you been up to? And so on. So let me just connect one of my other devices so that I can answer your questions in a timely manner. And we are ready to roll. I'm actually excited about this week's topic. Hold on. I connected one of my other devices so you guys getting the feedback. Yeah, so I have to be shooting in this mode today again because apparently I clicked so fast that the thing rotated. Anywho, we're here already, so let's talk. Let me see what the questions are like today. So Angela is asking, anything yet from out of the blue? Not yet, Angela. Donna Brown says, I'm here. Angela says, hi, Miss Donna from Great Britain. Donna says, hi. Timoy O'Brien says, good day, hosts and subscribers, ready and waiting. Hi, Jamdan TV says, present. Natisha says, good evening, everyone. And Earthstrong says, happy Sunday, all. Janet W says, good evening, everyone, also. Yes, so Berry says, hi. Hi, Berry. Thanks for joining. So as you guys know, I normally tell you thanks for a couple of things on a weekly basis. By the way, this week I have my bottle filled with water and I have some of Jamaica's favorite. This is Soursop Juice, but it's unsweetened. So I know that some of you won't like that because you prefer your juice sweetened, but this is unsweetened. I see some more comments. K.Keane says, hello, Lady K and subscribers. And Mark Chakar says, hi. I guess Mark is new. I don't remember seeing this name. And I don't know if that's the way your last name is pronounced. It's probably, let me not try. I don't want to massacre your name. Dwayne Bennett says, hi also. Hello, Dwayne. So let's get rolling. So as I said before, this week we're talking about the rising cost of real estate in Jamaica. And there are quite a few reasons for the rising cost of real estate in Jamaica. And we all know that the cost of real estate is rising. But I guess some persons do not know why this is so. And it has become an issue of concern for them. And understandably so, but some persons are a bit unreasonable in terms of how they approach it. So I've been getting a lot of comments, especially under one of my videos about the cost for the property. And apparently some persons don't think it's worth the cost. I actually think that property is worth the cost. But some persons disagree and they don't recognize that I'm not a developer or a realtor. So I literally have nothing to do with the cost of those properties. I'm literally just sharing the information as it relates to availability with you, right? So I decided that that should be something that I address so that we can all be on one page as it relates to why the cost of real estate in Jamaica is rising. And I do understand that my subscribers are between a certain age group. So it is concerning for them as to why the cost of real estate is rising. However, we literally exist in a space where we just have to make do with what we have. It's not a case where we can do something that will immediately reduce the cost of real estate. So it is a state that we'll have to live with and try to see how we can work around that, right? So, firstly, let me say a special thank you for a few things. You know, I do exist in the spirit of gratitude, and I'm always thankful for everything that happens with my channel. Some persons are not so positioned to experience what I have experienced as a YouTuber. A lot of people complain, but I have a lot of things to be thankful for. So, firstly, let me thank you for joining early. That's the first thing. Secondly, let me thank you for 200, no, 2,610 new total subscribers, rather. So, thank you for 2.61K subscribers. Thank you for 53,000K views on the townhouse in St. Catherine and 30K views on the how to buy a house in Jamaica video. Thank you all for watching my videos. I know that you could find something else to do, but quite a few of you have been watching, and thank you for that. All right. So for those of you who might be watching and you are realtors or developers, please connect with me so that I can feature your property on my channel. My Instagram name is Kayla.K.Keane, which is the same as my YouTube name, and that's one of the best ways to connect with me. You can also leave a message in the comment section if you'd like, or email me at misskeen21@gmail.com. Right. So let's pray and get into the main discussion. Remember also that you can leave your questions in the comment section, and I'll be happy to provide you with an answer as quickly as you ask the question. Let's pray. Lord, as we come before you, we give you thanks for another Sunday evening in which we have gathered to be productive, to have a productive conversation about real estate matters here in Jamaica and the state of real estate in our island. Father, we ask you for favor, blessing, open doors, and momentum. Give us an open heaven and provide houses for all of my subscribers and myself, and let us have testimonies to share about our real estate process and how we have acquired our property, how we have acquired land, and so on. For these and other mercies, we give you thanks. In your name we pray. Amen. All right. So we're done praying now. Let me see what you guys were saying in the comment section. And now we're going to talk. And as I tell you guys, I'm so excited to have this conversation. I've been wanting to have it. And I said that I would actually do a sit down video and just talk about it. But then I decided that, look here now, the time has come to speak on it. So let me just go live and talk about it instead, where you guys can be a part of the conversation and so on. Dwayne says hi. Timoya Bryan says amen. CM says yes, Medea. I was warming up my KFC. Oh boy. CM, you cannot cook? Dwayne Bennett says if I make a deposit on a house, put Dwayne, I think you have some typographical error. Can you just type it over? It's already hard for me to read generally, but when you have a typo, it's worst. All right. Anyways, waiting on Dwayne to retype that question. But until then, let's talk about the rising cost of real estate in Jamaica. So, as you all know, regardless of the effects of the pandemic, it seems as if the cost of real estate is pretty much still the same or more expensive than it was, right? I know that quite a few persons had thought to themselves that the cost of real estate would have depreciated, being that we were in a whole pandemic, and it would have been the perfect opportunity for them to purchase real estate. However, they have discovered that that has not been working out that way. And as a result, some people are just shocked, some people are confused, and some persons are not very pleased because they feel as if their chances have dwindled. Their chances of acquiring property has dwindled. Anyways, remember to like the video, by the way, guys, and comment. Talk to me in the comment section, and subscribe if it's your first time here. All right, Natisha says CM can't cook for true. CM says LOL, Natisha. Hot boy no cook on weekends. Yannick Brown says I was waiting for the cost to drop before because of the pandemic. Yes, quite a few persons were. Natisha says excuse me. Yannick says this hit me otherwise. Natisha says hot, okay. Yannick says exactly. CM says Kayla, I assume but some high prices I see. Make me take a bite of my chicken. Dwayne says, if I make a deposit on a house, but I was unsuccessful getting it, the lawyer, does the lawyer still get paid? I guess he's trying to say. A part of your money, like the retainer fee, they would have gotten, but remember that generally speaking, they would get their final amount of money for closing the sale, so they wouldn't get all of your money. Yannick Brown says can't even get a house to rent. Yes, so the pandemic has changed things for us in a not so positive way for some persons and in a very positive way for others. Because remember, if you're trying to sell a property now, it's like the perfect time. But if you're trying to buy, it might be a little bit more technical. But let's talk about it. So, generally speaking, since the pandemic here in Jamaica, the costs for renting properties have gone down according to the statistics. It has gone down by 10 to 30% according to the Real Estate Association of Jamaica. Don't know where they got that information from. When I look on the market, I can't attest to that information. The prices look pretty much the same for me, but and I guess not all renters are giving their information over to the Realtors Association of Jamaica. So I guess the Real Estate Association of Jamaica. So I guess that might be where the figures seem a little weird, right? But anyways, that's what they say. So but as it relates to selling properties, it's actually trending upwards. The cost to purchase properties here in Jamaica has been trending upward since the pandemic, which is quite strange because, of course, it would be logical in a time of crisis for you to expect that the cost for real estate would actually go down. But as I said, it has been going up. So some of you, as I said before, have been commenting under my videos and saying, oh my God, this house is so expensive and I can't afford it and blah, 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 blah. So that's why I decided to go live and let's address it together. So let's talk about some of the reasons now why real estate cost is actually going up. And one of the first reasons for that is the law of supply and demand. So the law of supply and demand has to do with selling goods, products, services. So if CM is selling crab and everybody wants to eat crab, then he can raise the price for crabs. However, if no one likes crab and everyone prefers shrimp or lobster, then he cannot raise the price for his products because no one will want to purchase those products. And that's pretty easy to understand. So, what has been happening as it relates to the law of supply and demand here in Jamaica is that persons have actually been wanting or needing more houses, right? So because of that, then the persons who are selling can afford to actually raise the cost of the property, because obviously there's somebody out there who is willing to purchase it. Let me see what they're saying in the comment section. Janet Hernandez says, what about land sale? Basically the same thing. Real estate in general. That's why I keep saying real estate, and I'm not saying houses, right? Yannick Brown says, that's a lie. It has gotten higher, especially in Portmore. Okay, as it relates to rent. That's what I'm saying, Yannick. That's what RAJ is saying, but I'm saying I'm not seeing that on the market. Lucas AJA says, hi everyone. CM says, reasons, demand and supply. More dog than bone on the housing market. And CM says, look at the reach, big up yourself. Carry digital monetize your skills says at Yannick, oh yes, rental price is. And Lucas JA says, yes, I read CM. Right. So as I said before, that's how the law of supply and demands work. Once the demand is up, then the supply will need to be up, and then they can now raise their price because of the need in the marketplace. So that's the first reason and the most logical reason why the cost for real estate here in Jamaica has actually been trending up, right? Uh, Lucas AJ says, hi, Kayla, hello. And Janet Hernandez says, also, it is a seller's market, LOL. That's all it's about, definitely. So sellers are favored. And in fact, if you have a property, generally speaking, I don't actually encourage persons to sell unless you don't have an option, because the cost for real estate, frankly, here in Jamaica is always going up. In the US, sometimes there's a significant decline in the housing market, but we don't find that happening in our Jamaican situation. We find where the cost is instead always appreciating, and it's almost inexplicable sometimes. Apart from the obvious supply and demand, sometimes even when the demand is not all that, the cost for houses is still going up. So that is, and if you notice too, as CM is saying in the comment section, a lot of the houses that are being sold are being quoted in US. Which of us on here, how many of us on here earn US dollars? I know that based on my channel analytics, most of my subscribers live in the US. So I understand you guys might be able to afford these properties that are listed in US. However, most of us earn in Jamaican dollars. So where are we supposed to find large sums of US dollars to purchase properties here in Jamaica? I need somebody to explain that to me. And I think it should not be practiced where properties are listed in US, because we don't make US. Anyways, let's go on with the conversation. Let me just read the comment section to see what you all are saying, and then we'll continue. Capitan Hall says, good evening, great minds. Good evening, Capitan, and welcome. By the way, for those of you who are just joining, remember to give the video a thumbs up. And CM says, Kayla, Sagicor Properties selling 3-bedroom townhouse on Seymour Avenue in Kingston for over 80,000, 80 million. The US dollar went up Friday, so the price basically is more. Yannick Brown says, well, we're gonna be homeless soon. Well, I'm not receiving that, Yannick. Stop speaking negativity, girl. Regardless of whatever is happening, I still believe that we'll be fine. Capitan Hall says, the real estate market in Jamaica is the only real estate market in the world that has never been a buyer's market. I'd have to check that out statistically. Earth Strong says, Kayla, are you familiar with and have information for I Save for Home program with Victoria Mutual? Yes, Earth Strong, I'm familiar with that program. I think it's a good program to join in terms of saving up. What it really is a saving program for you to save up your deposit for your house. So if you want to save a deposit for purchasing your first property, then the I Save for Home might be right for you. That's what it's all about. And you do get a certain percent. I don't remember what the percentage is, but you do get a certain percent return on that type of investment. However, I would not advise you to take a mortgage with VMBS, as they do have one of the higher interest rates on mortgages. So you can do the I Save for Home with them, but I'd suggest that you pull out and do your mortgage elsewhere. Anyways, let's move on. Autumn Rain says, good evening, everyone. Welcome, Autumn Rain. Thank you for joining. Guys, remember to do what I pinned at the top. Like, comment, and subscribe. And Berry says, I think so too, Kayla. We don't earn US, so why are they selling in US? Exactly. So it's not for us then, because obviously, if we're not earning in US, more than likely we won't be able to afford the cost of the properties. So that was the first reason why the cost of real estate is always going up in Jamaica, which I have said earlier. For those of you who are just joining, the first reason why the cost is always going up is supply and demand. The law of supply and demand works to drive up the cost of real estate here in Jamaica. The second reason why the cost of real estate is going up so much is house prices rise faster than wages. So for those of you who are on here, tell me when last you have gotten a raise at work. Tell me in the comment section, when last have you gotten a raise at work? If anybody gets a raise at work, I need to know. Maybe you're working in the private sector. Let me know in the comment section when last you get a raise at work. Because I know that I have not gotten a raise recently, but every time I look on the market for houses to buy, I'm seeing more and more and more and more and more expensive houses. So I'm saying to myself, how are we going to afford the houses if our income is like basically the same place, and every day the cost for real estate is going up? All right, so people here getting raised. So Earth Strong said that, well, CM firstly says that he wishes that there was a voice note option on YouTube. Dwayne says he's talking about callback manner. Those are not available. So I'm not going to talk about those now. CM says I got a raise effective April 1. Okay. So somebody get a raise 2 months ago and somebody got one April 1. Timora Brand says, LOL, raise of foolishness at my work. Yannick Brown says, raise make no sense. Exactly, because the raise is not proportionate to the cost of things. Even simple things like food is exponentially more expensive than what you're getting as a raise. So it's like it doesn't make no sense. But yes, so that's the second reason. Wages are not being increased while other things around us are being increased, which makes it way harder for us to actually afford things like real estate. The third reason is the 18% increase in NHT loan limit. So that brought it from $5.5 million per lender to $6.5 million per lender. So that's an 18% increase. So what you find happening now is that they have increased that segment. So some persons who were already in a better position to afford a property in terms of how much money they already have, they are in a better position now in terms of affordability because they have another $1 million to play with. So if they initially could afford a property for $20 million, they can now afford a property for $21 million. Plus, they would have had that additional time to save up, so they could probably afford $22 million now. You understand? So that's the third reason the NHT's 18% increase in the loan amount. So I'm going to let me see what you're saying in the comment section. Yannick Brown says, I was so hurt when NIS raised. Caperton Hall says house price in Jamaica was between $7 to $10 million when NHT was giving 5.5 million. NHT started giving 6 million and the real estate market moved the price up exponentially. Yeah, definitely. So the fourth reason now is actually linked to the third reason. So the third reason was that NHT gave an 18% increase in the loan amount, the loan limit for borrowers. So the fourth reason is that gainfully employed couples are now in a better position to purchase property. So say for argument's sake, you are a married person and you are a doctor, right? So you're a doctor, you're earning a decent salary, maybe you have just set up your practice. So you're able to benefit from having services that customers can pay you more for, patients can pay you more for, rather, as opposed to working in a public hospital where you're just getting your basic pay plus some allowances. So you're now in a better position to afford a better property, right? So you are, say, 28 or 30 thereabout, and you get married to somebody who is 35, and the person is a lawyer, just start them own firm, and they kind of, well, not just start, maybe start a little while, and now they're raking in some money. So now you are getting 6.5 from NHT, they are getting 6.5 from NHT, right? So you put that together and you now have your $13 million that you're sure that you're getting a way lower interest rate than what the bank is going to offer you, right? So now you put your $13 million together, but you're already earning a good salary that will allow you to qualify for a higher amount from the bank. So say you qualify for, let's use $10 million from the bank. So each of you qualify for $10 million. So now we already have the $13 million that we started off with. Person A qualify for 10 and person B qualify for 10. And remember that these are just some rough figures, right? So now we are looking at $33 million. So you now see where these persons would be able to afford a property way easier than a single person. So I think that's a big part of the issue here in Jamaica as it relates to real estate. It's as if single people are not able to afford properties because of how the market is set up. So that is the fourth reason why it's becoming harder for persons to own real estate here, especially young single persons, and dealing with, the other conditions that I mentioned before. Let me just check the comment section to see what you guys are saying. Caperton Hall, or already that. CJC2 Cooper says, I'm in development in the US. Will reach out for business purposes. Oh, certainly, please do. You can get me on my Instagram account at the same name as my YouTube channel, Kayla.K.Keane, or you can send me an email at MISSKEANE21@gmail.com. I linked it in the description box, so you can just go ahead and check in the description box under this video or under any of my other videos. He says collab. Okay, no problem. Yannick Brown says they do this because they don't want to see us prosper. I wish it were that simple, Yannick. I wish it were that simple. Hi Jamdan TV says, managed to see my land on Eland, Jamaica, Kayla. Oh my God, I'm so excited about that. So guys, for those of you who are probably just joining for the first time, or you have never watched a live, last week I did property titles in Jamaica, how to get your property titles online. So Elan joined the live last week and he was trying to get his property title while I was live. So I was basically giving him the instructions. I think Hajam Dantif is a female, Yes, she was trying to follow the instructions to get the title. So she's telling me that she got it, and I'm super excited because I know she didn't know the information prior to me saying it last week. And this is what the channel is about, educating people. And we're moving from step 1 to step 2 and getting things done. CM says exactly Clapperton Hall, which is why the NHC says it not make no sense. They raise the amount because the house developers always move up their costs, etc. when NHC raise their amount. Yes, that's true. But the costs though for properties prior to them raising was already astronomical compared to uh compared to what the NHC was giving and what persons were qualifying for. All right, you imagine, for example, most of you on here might not be in the lowest income bracket earners here in Jamaica, like minimum wage earner. So if those of us who are young professionals, let me use myself for example. So I have a good job and I have a side hustle and I have YouTube. That's another side hustle. And it's still hard for persons like me to do certain things. So you imagine how it must be for persons who are earning minimum wage. It's like impossible. Where are they going to live? Anyway, let's continue to progress the conversation and let me hurry up and read the comment section to see what you guys are inputting. What my co-host, you guys know that you're my co-host, so it means a lot to me when you talk in the comment section. So Caperton Hall says, that is not market force. That is just collusion and cruelty, making the dream of owning a home or a piece of land harder for those in a better position and a dead dream for those on the mar. Yannick says, I have piece of land and I'm literally struggling to build on it. Everything raised. That's one of the points I'm going to make, Yannick. You're dipping into the conversation, man. TJC2 Cooper says 100. Timoya Brand says society norms dictate that a union is more convenient. So I think that's the reason. Definitely. Plus just plain thiefness in some situations and circumstances, because some houses are really selling for more than they value in my eyes, or than is reasonable for even professional Jamaicans to afford. I was watching a conversation recently where somebody who is quite wealthy, not rich, I didn't say rich, wealthy, was not able to afford a house that he wanted here in Jamaica. So I'm telling you, the market is quite an interesting place. And when I did my research, also, employment in the real estate field has gone up exponentially since the pandemic. So all of those facts are actually pretty telling about what is happening here in Jamaica. So Yannick says, when I tell contractors my budget, they laugh. Imagine someone who is not earning half of what I earn. Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Hajam Dan TV say, yes, thanks for that. You're welcome, darling. And I'm so happy you got through. Natisha says, congratulations, girl. CM says, big up yourself, Kayla. Independent, successful woman. Whatever. Thank you. But I know you're just playing around as you do every week. Uh, TC TJC2 Cooper says subscribe. Thank you so much. So, guys, you know how we do it. Once there is a new subscriber on here, we normally tell them welcome in the comment section. So, TJ2 C2, sorry, TJ C2 Cooper just subscribed. So, go ahead and welcome that person. Anthony Salmon X says big up Keen. Thank you. All right. So, we were at the fourth point, right? So we're going to go on now to point number 5. And I have beaten this point. I have flogged it. I have said it so many times. And I guess some of the persons who watch my videos, for example, you'd probably watch and upload, but you don't watch and keep up with what's happening on the channel, don't understand. But I have seen where persons have been saying, oh, the cost of this is too expensive and it doesn't make any sense, and so on. But Airbnb has been one of the major factors as it relates to why the cost of real estate here in Jamaica has moved up so exponentially. And this is because most of the persons who are investing in Airbnb are not Jamaicans. So their pockets tend to be a little deeper than those of us who are Jamaicans living at home. Some of them are Jamaicans too, but they're not living at home. So they're earning in a stronger currency that gives them the opportunity to better invest in real estate. So, for example, if you were living in Great Britain, Bahamas, where the dollar is equivalent to the US dollar, the US itself, the US Virgin Island, Germany, France, Italy, Europe in general, you'd be better able to afford real estate in Jamaica. Because I'm sure when some of them hear the price for real estate here in Jamaica, for them it might be a little cheap, frankly, because their money is stronger than ours. Let me see what you guys are saying now. All right, so persons are welcoming TJC2. I think Anthony Salmon X. I think it's the first I'm seeing him here too. So also go ahead and welcome him. You can just say ASX for short. Caperton Hall is saying welcome. So is CM, Natisha, Timoy, High Jam Dan TV, and Berry. And I see Yannick Brown says, need you to check your DM when you're done, please. Oh, certainly. Once I'm finished, I normally start checking my social media pages because right after the live, I tend to get a high volume of responses. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Right. So I was talking about Airbnb, which is point number 5. And I see somebody asking a question. What about housing on the open market? I don't hear much about those. I don't hear much about those and their costs. Oh, it's the same as I'm not talking about NHE properties. Um, this person's name? Gloria. I'm not talking about NHE properties now, you know. I'm talking about real estate in general here in Jamaica. When I when I mentioned when I mentioned NHT, I was just referring to them as it relates to their loan. So for Jamaicans who are living here and for Jamaicans who are living in other countries, they can access their NHT points to assist with purchasing a home. Because obviously, if you can get 6.5 million out of the 50 million that you need, or the 10 million, or the 40 million, or the 20 million, then it significantly depreciates your your need to dip into your pocket. So once that is done, then you can afford a house easier than having to take all of the money from your pocket. So that's what I was mentioning when I spoke about the NHT. I wasn't referring to NHT properties. So when I talk what I'm talking about tonight is both houses on the open market and from the NHT. Uh right, I see persons welcoming Anthony and he says thank you. All right, Sandra Trowers now is saying, I'm listening. Very interesting about real estate. I did not know. That's wonderful, Miss Trowers. And Angela Dwyer says, that is true about the exchange rate for us. It sounds fairly affordable, right? Because you are living in Great Britain. So your currency is way stronger than ours. And when you compare what? Yannick says I'm new over here as well. Yannick, because of how you were talking in the comment section like a whole subscriber that has been watching every week, we never even recognized that you were new. You fit right in. All right, say welcome to Yannick Brown, guys. You can just say YB for short. WN Mac has awoken. He's in Great Britain too. He says, hi, my dear lady, pleasant day. Pleasant day to you too. I know that it's like probably after midnight in England. So thank you to the England squad, Angela and WN for watching. And I know that some other persons are in England too. Yes, so thank you all for staying up to watch. I think Hi Jam Dan TV, you are in Canada? Yeah, not England. Okay, yeah. So Airbnb is the other one. And then this one we need to talk about, guys. We need to talk about this one. So I don't know which number I reached now, but this one jumped out at me. and that's the cost for construction. So if you haven't been paying attention and you put down your phone, I want you to come to the phone now because we need to talk about this particular issue that has been affecting the cost of real estate in Jamaica. And that is the fact that the cost for real estate has in Jamaica has gone up. Or High Jamdan is TV is in England too. Okay, okay. So those are three persons who are staying up after midnight to watch, and they watch every week. And I want to say a big thank you for doing that. I know that you could have gone to bed, but you stay up with me in the early mornings to watch, and I appreciate that. So I see, I don't know how to pronounce his first name, Smith, checking in. Thank you for coming. If it's your first time, let us know so we can welcome you. Right. So the next reason why the cost for real estate here in Jamaica has gone up exponentially is the cost for construction. So since the start of the pandemic, the cost for construction, Yannick, has actually gone up 10%. So that is the issue that you're having that you mentioned about the contractors laughing when you tell them your budget, because the cost for construction workers, construction material, everything having to do with construction have gone up. And Smith is saying, I'm a girl. Yes, it's my first time. All right, guys, welcome J Smith. Just say JS in the comment section and give her a warm welcome. Right. So I don't want to try and pronounce your first name. I'm not even going to try and then massacre your name. I think I might be able to do it, but I don't want to find out that I'm wrong. And then because you can't talk back, then you'll just be cringing. But anyways, so the cost for everything relating to construction has gone up. And I'm sure that Yani can relate to this because she said earlier that she's trying to do construction and she has noticed that the contractors laughing at her. Sassy CM says, welcome Jay Smith, take a hug. Hi Jamdan TV says, welcome Jay Smith. Yes, so that's how we do it over here, by the way, for the new subscribers. Once you come, we welcome you and you immediately become blood. It's very easy to become a part of this family. By the way, for my VIP subscribers, I just remembered. So our first virtual meet and greet will be next week, and I will send you the Zoom link to join that virtual meet and greet next week. Remember to keep your cameras on when you join because I want to see your face, want to meet you guys and have a personal chit chat with you all. All right, so Angela Dwyer says, welcome. We can't pay for this information. Not even the lawyer give this information. That is very true, Angela, because I find that a lot of persons who are purchasing property tend not to know a lot about the process. And I understand that you wouldn't know the in-depth information about it, but seeing that some of them have realtors and lawyers, I don't understand why is it that they are still very oblivious to a lot of things that they need to know. But thankfully, when I converse with them, I'm able to shed some light on some areas that I do have an understanding of that can help them to, have a more seamless process. And that's why some of the time I'll say things to you like, don't use an attorney to buy house in Jamaica if they are not have not been practicing conveyancing for a while, because it's very difficult for them to work through the paperwork and give you a seamless transition into home ownership if they are not seasoned at conveyancing, because it is a little complicated. And one mistake that they make on a paperwork, for example, if they send something to NLA and a letter is missing from your name, or they didn't write your date of birth in the correct format, or they made some mistake, some typographical error, it's like $50,000 to correct that. So yeah, 50,000 Jamaican dollars. So that is why I want to encourage you guys to pay attention to what we talk about. Don't take it for granted. It's very important. WN Max says it's all over 200 Jamaican dollars to me, to £1 sterling. So the cost will go up. So cost will go up and the Jamaican dollar depreciate. Right. Earth Strong says at Yannick, you will have better luck going on Antidana program. You know, my subscribers are crazy. You guys are crazy. Okay. Earth Strong says, welcome all new subbies. Definitely. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Remember to like the video, by the way, for all 43 of you who are watching. Remember to like the video, okay? All right, so CM says, next string, I have to go make sure I shave and get haircut for that virtual meet and greet there. I'll bathe and brush my teeth. Yes, you must do that because we're, going to really enjoy ourselves away from this big audience. We're going to enjoy ourselves privately. All right, so let's go over the reasons for the rising cost of real estate in Jamaica for those of you who are just joining. Some of the reasons that we mentioned earlier was the law of supply and demand. So obviously, if there is a heightened need for supply, then if there's a heightened demand rather, then the cost will go up, right? The cost will go up because you'll need greater supply to meet the demand. Secondly, house prices rise faster than wages or income. So that's one of the reasons why affordability seems very far-fetched to some persons. Thirdly, gainfully employed couples between the ages of 25 and 40 are actually in a great position to take advantage of their benefits here in Jamaica. So the two 6.5% from the NHE that they'll have access to already brings them up to $13 million, which can already buy a house in some places, but they will also have better access to larger sums of money as a loan from the bank because they are earning enough to prove to the bank that they'll be able to repay. So that puts them in a better position to borrow. And then, oh, I didn't mention that. Did I? Yeah, I did. Foreign investors are taking advantage of the market because their currency has more value than our currency. So they're able to take advantage of that opportunity and purchase. So for them, it might not even seem very expensive to them because they are spending another currency, right? All right. So the fifth reason is Airbnb has taken root in Jamaica, and quite a few of the persons who do invest in Airbnb are also linked to the point that I just made. They're foreign investors. So it's way less expensive for them than us because they are converting from, say, the Great Britain pound or the US dollars or other currencies that have a higher value from us. And if I might be a little less traditional, Bitcoins too. There are some persons who buy Bitcoins, so they're able to, change them over and get better value for money than those of us who are living here and are earning in Jamaican dollars. Uh, then there is the 18% increase that the NHT has given in terms of the loan limit. So before it was 5.5%, 5.5 million Jamaican dollars, rather, I beg your pardon. And now it's 6.5 million Jamaican dollars that each borrower can borrow as a maximum amount. And then additionally, the cost for construction here in Jamaica has gone up by over 10% since the start of the pandemic. And I'm sure some of you did not know this. I recently found out through my research. So, I'm giving you all of this information so that you can make a better assessment as to why the market is the way it is. Additionally, I want to remind my subscribers that I'm not a realtor and I'm not a developer. So when I post properties, they're not my properties. I'm not a realtor trying to sell the property. So what I'm doing is sharing information from the developers or the realtors to you. So under every video, I have the information for the realtor for different properties under there. And I also have the information for developers if I'm giving you a direct link to the the developer, right? So I don't want any of you to think that these are my properties and I'm trying to earn a certain amount from the properties and I'm overpricing them. Whatever the prices are not set by me and are not influenced by me, okay? So I just wanted to say this so that some of you can stop commenting, okay, your house them too expensive, because I'm not selling houses. What I'm doing is making the properties that you would like available for you to decide if that's the one that you want to purchase. I see some persons commenting some things that don't make any sense too. For example, somebody's going to say under a video, oh, this townhouse is not suitable for my mother. My mother cannot go upstairs. So I think this property should have a bedroom downstairs. That's not how real estate works. You look for a house that suits you. Just like when you're buying a car, I would not buy a caravan because I don't have kids. So what am I doing with a caravan? You understand? But you might, as a single person, want to purchase a caravan because you have a business and you want the extra space to put your cargo stuff, things for the business. So that's the way it is with properties. You have to look for the one that's best for you and not complain about every property not being best for you or the space is small. If the space is small, then you keep looking. And I know these are some simple things, but I have like 100 and odd comments under one video with persons saying, da 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 da, whatever they're saying. So, and you know that I respond to every single comment on my channel. So if you comment on my channel, I will see the comment and I will respond because I make it a point of duty to be interactive. Because there's no point just throwing up things and then just leaving them. No, I have to respond to you. So please, if you are one of the persons who comment in those things, stop. So let me see what they're saying in the comment section. WN says, Kayla, you should have a topic on those with young families wanting to go up the housing ladder. Okay, I'll do that. WN Max says, good evening at Autumn Rain. Smith says, what's your take on Airbnb? I'm planning on venturing in it. Okay, Miss Smith. So there's nothing wrong with venturing into Airbnb if you want to do that, but there are some things that you should take into consideration. And the points that I'm going to tell you are particularly important now that the pandemic has happened, because what has happened before the pandemic is that there were a lot of persons who invested money in purchasing properties solely to be used as Airbnb properties, right? So because of the pandemic, persons have not been able to travel to Jamaica as freely as they would want to. Some countries have stricter lockdown measures than us, like Great Britain, Canada, some sections of the US, right? Or some point in time in the US, not so much now because of the vaccine and so on. However, what I want you to keep in mind is that if you are going to invest in Airbnb here in Jamaica, ensure that you are able to pay the mortgage if you don't have anyone renting out your properties. Because some persons, luckily, a lot of persons did lose their houses because the government step in, NHC step in and um lower certain things that they would have to pay, certain taxes, so they were able to afford it. Plus they had given them a grace period to pay the mortgage at some point in time, which has put them in a better position to keep the property. But if you're going to invest in Airbnb, do so wisely and have a plan B and a plan C. So if Airbnb doesn't work out, am I buying house in a community that can rent at a decent cost? Or can I live in the property? So think about those things. Just don't go into it with your one and only plan B. This is a property for Airbnb and nothing else. No, don't do that. So make sure you have a plan B and C. By the way, guys, remember to like the video, okay? Trying to scroll down so I can reach the comment section where I stopped. All right, so Solomon Francis says, "Hi Kayla, good evening. You look lovely as usual." Thank you, Solomon. WN Max says, "Lovely name." I think he's talking about JS. CM says, "Look like me have to go find a wife so me can team up and get mortgage. You know, look good for us, middle age, single people. High mortgage payback as we have as we have less time to pay off the loan." How old are you, CM, if you don't mind me asking? Hi John Dan TV says, "Yeah, material high like wow. Yes, it's very expensive now." Yannick says, "Hey, Airbnb is great. I used to work for them and it's really good." Okay. JS says, "At Yannick, I'm planning on venturing in it. I signed up for Phoenix Phase 2, which will hit the market in 2023. Yannick Brown says, "What you call gainfully employed?" They're earning a decent salary, like young professionals. Professionals is the keyword. Not just young people who just go look a normal job. Skilled people who are working in fields that require a particular level of talent and skill and education. And I'm not necessarily talking about new university graduates, because people tend to think that university graduates making money and they're not. At least here in Jamaica, they're not. So Yannick says, "JS, that's awesome. They support you as a team and they make a lot of sense." So JS is thanking her for that comment. Autumn Rain says, "Thanks to WN Mark." JS says, "Phoenix, it's for 2023 board development, Phoenix Phase 2. Yeah, man, I know the development." WN Max says, "Hey, welcome." CM says, "Welcome to the channel, Gloria Maki. You seem new here." Lots of scheme coming up in Jamaica. CM says, "Lots of single girls in Jamaica." WN Max says, "CM, lots of single girls in Jamaica." All right, I'm not looking at you guys. CM says, "I'm 51 years of age, but I look like 35. People say I look way younger than my age, as I'm always laughing." Okay, CM. CM says, WN Mark, "Yes, but not for them a broke pockets." Okay. So I see a new face here. I'm seeing face, but I'm really seeing the name. Renee Stoddart says, "Do you know any reputable companies that will build on land using prefab material, and your thoughts on going that route versus building block and steel?" Honestly, I don't have any thoughts on that, and I don't have any companies to recommend. What I could recommend to you is a contractor who will be able to give you better information on that. So I can recommend either a contractor or a developer who can better inform you. You guys know who I am. If I'm not entirely sure about something, then I'm not going to speak on it. Right. So what else I have to talk about? Yeah, I basically exhausted all of the points that I wanted to share with you. But just to remind you that these are basically some of the main reasons why the cost for real estate in Jamaica has gone up exponentially. Let me know in the comment section if you appreciated this live, or if everything I said was clear. And if not, state your question so that I can provide you with a response. If there are any other questions having to do with different topics, as you guys know, I do have an Ask Me Anything live format for my live shows. So you can literally ask me other questions not related to the topic. So if you have your other questions, you can go ahead and ask them now. Additionally, there are lots of other videos on my channel for you to watch and enjoy and to educate yourself. If you are new to this channel, I do have a few new subscribers today. So I do videos mainly about finance and real estate, and sometimes I'll vlog. So that is what you'll expect from me. If you are new, please remember to hit the notification bell after you have subscribed so you don't miss an upload when I do upload. Quite a few persons have told me that they're not getting notifications, and that could be as a result of them not hitting the notification bell and putting it on all so that you get a notification whenever I go live or I post a video. Also, follow me on Instagram. My name is the same as my YouTube name, Kayla.K.Keane. And subscribe, like, and share my videos. Don't keep it to yourself. Once you discover the channel, share it with other persons. Let me go in the comment section and see what you guys are saying. So Timoya Bryan says, everything was clear. Earth Strong says, appreciate all your lives. All in caps. You guys are so awesome. CM says, yes, the live is great as usual, Kayla. Gloria Max says, you did great. Thanks. All right. So it seems as if I have explained everything clearly enough for every subscriber to understand. If you were late, you can watch the video back as soon as the live ends. And if you are watching delayed, thank you for joining the channel. There are other videos that I link on here somewhere on the screen that you can watch. And remember to just scroll through the channel and find other videos that you can watch. For those of you who are new subscribers also, I call all my subscribers future millionaire. It's just a way of speaking over your life, something positive, something good, something uplifting, that we will all become millionaires together and hopefully billionaires too. Hi Jam Dan TV says, yes, information was great as usual. Natisha says, thank you, Kayla. You are doing your research and educating us. I appreciate you and this channel and being a part of the Future Millionaire family. Ronique Gardner says, thanks for the information. Appreciate it. And JS says, thanks for the great information. All right, future millionaires, thank you all for joining me for this week's live. And until my next live, which is always on a Sunday at 6 p.m., or my next upload, which is on Fridays at 3 p.m. So I post a video on Fridays at 3 p.m. and I go live on Sundays at 6 p.m. Remember to stay financially literate and ask somebody to join the family. Don't just keep the information to yourself. Berry says, thanks, Kayla, great info. And CM says, like, yes, I like the term future millionaire, smile. All right, so until next time, it was my pleasure serving you. Thank you all for joining and leaving whatever you were doing to join me. I appreciate you. Kevin Johnson says, Miss Keane, you could go into broadcasting. You have a great voice. Thank you, Kevin. I'm actually a trained journalist and public relations officer. So maybe that's why I'm going into my journalist voice now. Angela Dwyer says, good night, Kayla. Have a productive week. WN Max says, keep safe, my dear. Thank you all. And remember to leave a comment under the actual video too. So these are the live chat, but comment on the video. So thank you for spending part of your Sunday evening with me. I know that the persons in England really want to go to their bed because it's after 1 now, I think. So all the best.